Hello, it's Robert Greening again. Don't be that lawyer, real mentorship for young lawyers. Hey, this morning I wanted to read you guys some comments verbatim that we've received on our Facebook page or Instagram page or wherever they may be online, because I just want y'all to hear the feedback that we're receiving. So I'm just going to read these verbatim. To make yourself indispensable is to make yourself unpromotable. What? No, everyone is dispensable. Never kill yourself somewhere that will post your job before your obituary. The next comment is advice for how to never get promoted. The next one is not how it works if your boss has the keys to open, which I'm not really sure what that means. The next one is no thanks, paid for 8 hours, I'm not working 12. No, you are not paid to do that. You should do things that make your boss's job easier, yes. If you are not paid to be there, don't show up exceptionally early and don't stay late. Do not F up payroll. Another one is not everyone does this and a lot of places don't care. Another one is work your hours as they are set. Don't assume the boss is male. No one is indispensable, so don't think all of your extra actions are going to lead to anything more than being taken advantage of. As you see, like most of these are around the part of one of my podcasts where I talk about getting there early and staying late and making yourself indispensable. That caused a whole lot of people to not like what I had to say, but I'm going to keep going. I'd done that all my life and it got me nowhere. No overtime and nothing but more work. No. What if you live at work? Another one is the first thing I would say is do none of this because all this does is make a doormat to be used. This is terrible advice. Another one, I'd say work for yourself and let these guys do their own work. And another one is, I did that for years and barely got COLA increases even though I consistently exceeded expectations. Meanwhile, got home late to the family, late to events, hit more traffic, spent more gas, worried more about everything. Oh, and like you indirectly mentioned, the boss isn't there the boss is there less than I am. Sorry, this is BS nowadays. I think that's all of the comments that we received. And then we did receive, we got 3 positive comments. One was, if you aren't early, you're late. One was, absolutely, you only get one chance to be truthful, great advice. I think that was talking about the podcast that we did about the 4 agreements. And then one was, well stated, my friend. So all in all, I would say the majority of the comments that we've received have been negative, which is fine with me. I think that maybe this is a generational thing, but I think that, I think also a lot of times people just want to put negative things and nobody wants to put positive things. I've got a thick skin and it doesn't really bother me that we have negative comments, but I would like that. It doesn't bother me that we have negative comments. In fact, I invite a conversation, and I've asked you guys to comment so that we can have a conversation about what I'm talking about this mentorship. And if there's pushback, I welcome the pushback, but I do, it's not going to necessarily change my mind about some of the mentorship advice that I would like to give all of you guys. I think that maybe a lot of the comments are because of the fact that you did have a good work ethic, and you just had a bad boss, and you didn't have the proper mentorship, and you had a bad boss, or you had a bad culture at the place that you worked. And some of the words that kind of came to my mind as I was reading your comments were these words: trust, reliability, communication, transparency. Those are the kinds of things that I would commend. Those words are the kinds of words that I would commend to you to have. That attitude of trust, have an attitude of reliability, transparency, and communication with your superior, with your boss. also with your team members, because your boss can't read your mind. And if you don't communicate and tell your boss how you're feeling, then you're just choosing to be miserable, to be honest with you. And, misery is a choice. So, I think a better way to be is to take the advice that I'm giving you about how to be a good employee or a good lawyer, good young lawyer in a firm, but change the way you think about it, change your mindset, and really be all in with the goals that the firm has. And if you're not working at a place that has goals and that are not communicated to the team, then I wouldn't be happy either, and I wouldn't want to work there either, because you just feel like you're a cog in the wheel. But if you know what the goals are, if the leader of the firm is setting a vision and you're part of that vision, then you can create your own goals within the firm goals, and it makes your job a lot more meaningful. If you can have an idea of what your future holds within the firm, then it makes your job a lot more meaningful. And what we try to do at our firm is we try to have career paths for all the people that work here, so that they can see that there's a place for them in 5 years from now or 10 years from now in being promoted and if they meet their key performance indicators and are doing a great job, then they continue to make more money and they continue to be promoted into different areas of the firm that may interest them. So I think really some of these comments come from being at a place, working at a place that was not a good place to work. I think that you as an employee of a law firm, a young lawyer at a law firm, you need to know what the goals are for the firm. If they're not communicated, you need to find out what they are. And then, or if it's just the partner that you're working for, find out what his or her goals are. And then create your own goals within the goals. You need to demand mutual respect between yourself and your boss. If you don't receive that respect, then go work somewhere else. Don't suffer in silence, or communicate that you're not getting the respect that you are entitled to. You need to demand the respect of your other team members, other lawyers that you're working with, and y'all need to help each other out so that everybody's lives are made easier. Let's say there's a big something going on and you've got a personal thing that needs to happen after work and you can't cover it. If you've got a good relationship with your team, they'll help you. I will say that hard work isn't enough. My first legal mentor, my first boss, told me that the key to success is hard work. It's about 50%, and the other 50% is luck. But you have to make your own luck. And so the way you make your own luck is all of these things that I'm talking about. Have your own personal goals. Create your own personal brand within the brand of your firm. Develop your own business within the firm. That is a key to having luck, having your own book of business. And you can start that the minute you get out of law school, by networking, by relationship building, by communicating with anybody that you know about what it is that you do and why you do it. You need to always be thinking about yourself as not the cog in the wheel, but as someone who brings value to the firm. And the way that you bring value is you bring value through hard work, but you also bring value by building your own business within the firm. because that's going to be important for you going forward. You need to also make sure that you insist on feedback from your boss. A lot of people that are in a supervisory attorney position are busy, and they are not necessarily thinking about your well-being and how you're doing, and they're just trying to get the work done. But that doesn't mean they don't care about you and they don't care about how you're doing, but you need to insist on feedback. So if the firm doesn't have a quarterly review in place, make your own quarterly review. Ask your boss if you can put on the calendar a 15-minute meeting every quarter for you to get feedback from them. They will appreciate that. They'll be excited that you care enough about how you're doing, that you have reached out to them and carved out 15 minutes of their time so that y'all can talk about how you're doing, how you can improve, what are good things you're doing, what are things that need improvement. That shows initiative. That shows ownership in your job. And it also helps you. You need to stand up for yourself so that when you are busting it and you are getting there early and staying late, you need to make sure that that's known and that's appreciated. That's really all I have today. It's a relatively short podcast, but I did want to address, some of the comments that we received. Well, these are really a lot of them. I think it's most of them. And I'd love more comments from you guys, and I'd love to continue the conversation. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.